to suffer terribly and know yourself as the cause is hell. It's one of my favorite Jordan Peterson quotes, and it's very well thought out. So I'm going to break it down for us today. I've lived this so much in my own life because I'm going to tell you guys something right now. My life is a construct of making brutal mistakes and having to learn from those mistakes and reorient myself. I've chased every form of hedonism that exists on the planet: money, women, power, status, drugs, alcohol, violence, all of it. Anything that you can extract power from or control, I've tried at the highest level, at very high levels. And so I've realized that those things are all copes. They were all just quenches that I was trying to get from this thirst that was in my mind and in my spirit. And when I came to the end of myself, especially when I started going through a divorce process, which is a horrible process, by the way, I don't wish it upon anyone, but it allows you an opportunity to grow a lot if you'll submit and be humble to the process, because there's so much patience that has to be exerted. There's so much misunderstanding, at least from my perspective, of the process itself. And it's sort of, this is the way that it's done, even if it doesn't make any sense. And to be in that position, knowing that thyself was a huge cause of being there, that is hell. And there's another kind of play on words, and I don't remember the poet that said this, but like, hell is a version, hell is meeting the version of yourself that you could have been at the end of your life. That reigned very true for me. I got really tired of acting out a character that I thought was good or was serving the world. And I just decided, the end, I'm going to be this person now. My actions are going to model this in the world. I no longer want to let all these things have control over my spirit. The spirit of mammon, which is money, the spirit of lust, power, control. I was done letting myself be possessed by those spirits. And when I frame this for clients, this is actually very useful to know. I have a temper, so let's just talk about that. If I'm working with someone who has anger issues, I'll often frame it to them like, how does it make you feel when you let the spirit of anger possess you to act out behaviors that are not in accordance with your highest values? They kind of look at me like, oh, that was a good question. And they say, what do you mean by the spirit of anger? And I say, well, it doesn't really matter your spiritual beliefs, but let's just talk about it generally. What we're doing, like if I lose my temper, what I've done is I've allowed the spirit of anger to possess me, have its will with me, and use me as an instrument to act that out based on all the thoughts that are going up here. And no one has ever completely lost their temper, almost ever. There's a time for righteous anger, but completely lost their temper and felt, oh, that was really good. I did that. I'm happy I did that. No one says that after the fact. The reason that is because it's almost like a possession that takes over. And so when you know yourself as the cause of the suffering, that's a version of hell. And that's why people who are very overweight, people that are really struggling with their finances, it's usually the reason that they're avoiding that topic of like solving those problems isn't because they don't want to solve them. It's because they know that they're a huge part of the problem. And then they would have to look in the mirror and ask a lot of questions, do a lot of reflecting, and probably a lot of changing as to why they're in that position. Listen, I'm not saying people don't go through seasons where they've had job loss or, not everyone has equality, to each his own talents, right? And that's the way that I like to look at the world. However, when I've worked with personal development clients who are really struggling with money, and I say, okay, give me your bank statements, let's go right now. Almost none of the people are like, yeah, let me show you because I'm really stewarding my money well. They always go, oh, what month, when? They're trying to work around getting around that. They already know why, because they're causing their suffering. They know that I'm going to get in there and, hey, how come you're buying 3 different Starbucks meals today? How come this is going on? What are you doing Amazon shopping over here for? Oh, responsibility and accountability come up. All of a sudden, it's not as fun now, right? And we all know this. If I ask someone, hey, how come you're severely overweight? Oh, I'm not sure. It must be my hormones, maybe. Must be, I'm not drinking enough water. Really? Is that your final answer? Does anyone remember Who's a Millionaire? Is this your final answer? Do you want to phone a friend? It's like deep down, you know that is not the answer to that question. But we always supposition these smaller problems out front. And I know this. Whenever someone's telling me the problem, I know that it's 3 or 4 layers behind that all the time. All the time. And so if you know yourself as the suffering caused, if you know yourself as the cause of your suffering, look at where you can stop doing that. And I promise, you've meditated on this for like literally 15 minutes. You'll find some very low-hanging fruit that not only you should do or could do, but the main part is finding out what you actually would do today in that moment. Figure out what you would do, make those small changes, and I guarantee you'll become way less the source of your suffering. I hope that helps. And if this video has helped you, send it to a friend. I would love for you to like, comment, subscribe. I hate that I even have to ask about that, to be honest, in my pride and ego. But I'm trying to be vulnerable because it's hard to grow a YouTube channel right now, I'll be honest. And it's very saturated. But I do think I have some wisdom and gifts that can really help people. And so that more help I can have, the better everyone wins.